Buddy, Canada did not just start a steel war. We just dragged in the farmers, the Arctic, and even NAFTA. Yes, this week, China slapped a 75% tax on our canola. Doug Ford says Trump might rip up our trade deal. And the fix with the US, weeks away. What the hell is going on? Here is the thing no one is telling you. This is not just about protecting jobs in Hamilton or Calgary. This is about submarines. It's about Arctic bases. It's about making sure that when the world turns into a frozen game of risk up north, Canada is not the guy showing up without his skates. What just happened? Middle of July, Trump hits Canada with a 35% tariff on our exports. Says it's about protecting American workers. Translation? He is poking us right in the wallet. The very next day, boom, Ottawa fires back. 50% tariff on foreign steel, 25% tariff on Chinese steel, and $1 billion to help Canadian mills crank out our own. They sold it as an economic safeguard. But come on, this is about war prep, Cold War, Arctic cold. And then this week, the fight spills over. China says, oh, you like tariffs? Here is 75% on your canola. That's a haymaker to prairie farmers. Doug Ford gets on the mic and basically says, I do not trust Trump. He might rip up NAFTA 2.0. And our top trade negotiator admits a deal with the US is weeks away. So we are just sitting here with a trade gun pointed at our head. Why steel? Why now? Steel is not just for condos in Toronto. It's submarines, tanks, Arctic radar towers, the actual skeleton of our defense. Right now, 62% of the steel we use for defense comes from other countries, mostly the US, some from China. If they shut the tap, we are cooked. Mark Carney's military shopping list is not small. $6 billion for Arctic submarines, 3 for new warships, almost 5 for radar and drone bases. All of it needs specialty steel that can survive minus 50 degrees winters and salty Arctic waves. You cannot just grab that at Home Depot. Before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Subscribing to my channel is not going to cost you anything, but it does help me big time. Thank you. Now back to our topic. The military steel problem. Our subs, they are 4 old diesel-electric clunkers from the 80s. We bought them used from the UK. They spend more time in dry dock than in the water. The plan now? Build new Arctic-ready nuclear-capable ones here at home. Each one takes over 7,000 tons of special steel. NORAD's getting a facelift too. New radar and missile stations up north. Every single one is basically a giant steel box of stilts. And Ottawa wants 3 new Arctic military bases before 2030. Deep water ports, joint NATO hubs, surveillance posts. That's a lot of steel that has to take freezing, thawing salt water and political BS. The billion-dollar plan. Ottawa has basically gone, all right, let's supercharge our steel industry. Stelco and Algoma in Ontario are getting almost $500 million for upgrades. Evraz in Regina's getting $200 million to make Arctic alloys. Quebec mills get a slice. Indigenous-led mining gets a slice. Even $100 million for green steel research. But here's the catch. If you take the money, 30% of what you make has to go to the military and Arctic projects. And it's got to be NATO grade stuff made by Canadian workers. The goal? By 2030, 90% of the steel for our defense comes from here, not somewhere that might ghost us in a crisis. Who is cheering and who is freaking out? In Canada, Stelco's reopening blast furnaces. Algoma says they will hire 1,500 people. Everest say they will go full military-only product line in a year. In politics, Polyers out there chest puffing, finally, we are on offense. Jagmeet Singh's like, cool, but where is the indigenous equity? Block says, hey, send more to Quebec. Outside Canada, China is filing complaints at the WTO and hitting our crops. The EU is grumbling about retaliation. The US, publicly silent, but calling secret meetings. How this hits you? Jobs, 22,000 direct hires, plus more in shipping, rail, mining. Prices? Yeah, your fridge and car might cost 5 to 10% more for a bit. But long term, we stop being at the mercy of whoever is selling steel that week. And that billion-dollar fund, Ottawa says it will make almost triple back in GDP by 2032. We will see. This is not just about steel. This is about Canada finally saying, we are not gonna beg for the basics if a fight breaks out. We have done this before, and we can do it again. But here is the real question. Will we keep our nerves when the heat dies down? Or will this just be another big plan that melts faster than an Arctic ice sheet? Let me know in the comments. Is this a smart strategy or just politics wrapped in a hard hat? And hit subscribe, because if the steel war is just the start, the next chapter are gonna get wild. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.